Hello, lovelies. This is Chrissy cooking at home. Welcome back. If you're new, I'm still new. We'll be new together. This video is about me making my cheesy sausage stromboli. I have been making it this way for about 15 years. It's a recipe easily doubled. It refrigerates well. It's great for picnics because it's fantastic to eat cold or room temperature as well as hot. It's versatile. You can use whatever color peppers you want, whatever onion you want. You can leave out the onion. I've done that before. You can use any kind of cheese you want. You do not have to stick to the traditional stuff. This recipe just makes it, I don't know, versatile. This is 2 cups of sliced Swiss cheese that I just cut really, really skinny into where it's kind of like shredded. You want 2 cups of shredded cheese. Your choice. I've done cheddar. I've done mozzarella. I've done pepper jack. I've done Colby. I've done them all. All the harder cheeses like that. None of the soft cheeses. So what I got is a pound of bulk pork sausage or breakfast sausage, like, you know, like the Jimmy Dean little log thingies, like one of those, but from Aldi. And then we have 2 bell peppers. I usually do a green and a red. All I have in the fridge is an orange and a yellow. So we're going to use orange and yellow. Yellow onion. And then I'm going to get this cooked up with the veggies. And then I will bring you back for making the stromboli dough. Okay? Real quick, I chopped up my onion. I did a mince on it. So it looks like that. Okay? The bell pepper I do different. Logan likes the flavor of bell peppers in foods, but not cooked. Too mushy for him. He'd rather eat these raw. But he likes the flavor when I cook it in something. So he's got to be able to pick them out. So what I do is I cut them into strips. You know, get it off this. Cut it into strips and then cut those strips in half. So they're big chunks. So his dad and I still get the flavor and the bell pepper. And he gets the flavor of bell pepper, but he doesn't have to struggle to pick them out. Like I said, it's versatile. His dad and I like the peppers in it. He can pick them out easily because I leave them so big. You can chop them up small. You can do a mince, or you can leave them big like that. You know, whatever suits you. So I'm going to get this meat cooking and gather up the rest of the stuff I need for the dough. And I'll bring you back for when we start the dough after I get this meat cooking, because we need this meat to cool down completely, and you'll see why. Okay, so I got my onions and peppers and sausage cooked through. I just broke it up with my rubber scraper, the crumbles, to make it into crumbly sausage. I didn't cook the peppers until they were like super soft, so they're still a little crisp. So when they bake in the oven in the stromboli, there'll still be a little bit of snap to them. Pardon the crazy hair. Good gravy. I don't know what that was about. I know I was fidgeting with my hair. I had to sit down and take a break after I cooked the sausage. Okay, so now we're going to get on to our stromboli dough. It takes a while for it to rise, depending on how warm your kitchen is. I have a proofing function, a bread proofing function on my oven that I use, so it cuts my proofing time in half. I love that function. If you don't, use regular kitchen counter, yeah. Or you can stick it in the oven so there's no drafts. Whatever. Go with the flow. Alright, so I grabbed all my attachments. We do not need the paddle one. We need the hook. And my beast of a mixer, the KitchenAid Pro 600 series. Okay, ingredients for the dough: 3½ cups of flour, ½ a tablespoon of yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup warm milk. And you want that around 100-110 degrees, or you'll kill your yeast if it's hotter. If it's colder, your yeast might not grow. 1/4 cup of warm water, again, not too hot. and 2 tablespoons of butter melted and cooled to room temperature. That was one of the first things I did when I got out all my ingredients. I threw the butter in the microwave, I melted it, and it's been sitting on the counter ever since. So, okay, so let's get moving. In the bowl, we're going to combine 3 cups of the flour with the yeast, sugar, and salt. Cool beans. Make sure I got my sugar. Gonna kind of put it in front of you. So 3 cups. Now again, I do not knead by hand anymore. I don't have the strength or the endurance for it. So you can totally do this all by hand. You do not need some fancy mixer. You just don't. But I had to get one as I got sicker. So that's that. So we're gonna do sugar. My rubber gasket keeps, I need new containers. I have some picked out from Sam's Club that I keep putting off because we have a vacation coming up that we're saving for. I don't know why I just don't need a tablespoon. Half a tablespoon. So that half a tablespoon is 1.5 teaspoons. Okay. It's good to learn your conversions. I used to have them all memorized. I do not anymore. Okay. And then 1 teaspoon salt. Okay. And I'm just going to use my tablespoon here and just kind of stir that together a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to add our water, our milk, and our butter. Then goes the milk. I just use tap water. Then goes the butter. Waiting for it to get a little warm. There we go. Just need a 1/4 cup. Boom. In. All right. Close. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. I have the crock pot going behind my mixer here on the counter in front of my witch's great poison because I'm making some caramelized onions to can up. So that'll be another video, hopefully, if it turns out. Yeah. Flour, yeast, sugar, water, milk, salt, butter. All right. Mix on medium until combined. This is a big 6-quart bowl, so I can do this on medium and it not slop everywhere. I am going to have to scrape the edges a little bit, get the flour in the center, because it is a dough hook. Okay. I'm not going to lower the bowl. I'm just going to quickly kind of almost toss and press some flour into the wet. Coming together. How about you looky. Alright, now I'm going to keep an eye on this and see if we need the other 1/2 cup of flour. Make sure it's pulling like that completely and it doesn't start sticking, but it looks like it's starting to stick a little to the bottom. And you don't want it to climb the hook. Okay, so we don't want it to climb the hook and we don't want it to stick to the bottom. We want it to be a nice ball that the dough hook is going to knead for us. And we're going to knead this with the dough hook for about 8 minutes. Yeah, we need more flour. See how it's sticking down there? You do not want that. So I got a 1/2 cup here. I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. But I don't want too much. I just need to be conscientious of doing a little bit at a time. So I did about a quarter of a cup that I added. I'm going to crank it up a little bit. See if we can't get that pull from the side. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of scrape and push. Scrape and push. Let's see if I can't get a nice angle. Working on my camera skills. Working. The camera will focus. Okay, I have it on the number 2. You see, I've stopped flour everywhere, but I'll clean that later. But I've got it on the 2. And that looks like a perfect consistency to me. So we're going to crank it down to 1 or stir on mine. And we're going to let this go for 8 minutes and then I'll bring you back. Okay, it's been 8 minutes. Our dough has kneaded with the dough hook. This is what it looks like. Okay. Our ball. We're just going to kind of work it into a ball shape. Push and pull. Push and pull. Kind of tucking it at the same time. All right. I am the dishwasher. I do not have a dishwasher. I've said it in other videos. It's still true. It will always be true, I bet. So we're going to take this bowl and we're going to plop it in here. We're going to use a little olive oil. I don't know how much that is. 2-3 tablespoons maybe. Kind of working it up with the dough up on the edges. So as this rises, help keep it from sticking too much. And then I've got the dough that I've just kind of rolled around in it. Okay. You want my clean favorite towels. And into my oven for proofing. Normal proofing is about 30 minutes. Or I'm sorry, 60 minutes. I'm going to proof for 30 because it's going to be super fast. Oops. Oops. It's one of them days, people. Start that. And that, and then that, and then that, and that. Okay. Moving on. I showed you earlier in this bowl, we have our cheese. We're going to add our cooled down, you can see me touching the pan, the cooled down, that's just juices from the onion. These onions I got from my local restaurant supply store, restaurant supply and party store, are very watery. I'm trying to make some, I said some caramelized onions. It's very watery. I'm going to have to like strain it or something. That's okay. We'll make this work. Could have strained it before I dumped it in here, but I didn't realize how much water was in here until I dumped it. Okay, so 2 eggs. Now, you can use a big spoon. You can use your hands. Don't we add basil to this? Yeah, basil. Where's my basil? Okay. Okay, we're supposed to measure it. We're going to guess. Basil is supposed to be half a teaspoon. All right. A little more. There we go. So, you can like beat these eggs up a little ahead of time if you want. It's fine. This combines really quickly, and it's not like you have to worry about over mixing it. See, just like that. And the eggs mixed in. That'll help with our watery issue when it's bacon in our stromboli and make it not so soggy. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. Somebody's in the neighborhood is, or down the road rather, is using a saw. They are replacing their vinyl siding. I saw when I was coming home from the restaurant supply store. It's called Maine's. I get a lot of stuff there in bulk that's cheaper than Sam's. Like the big 10-pound onions was $6.99. Currently at my Sam's it is $9.99 for 10 pounds. They're good onions. I think I like them better than these from Maine's, but we have one egg we're going to save for our topping. But the filling is done. That's it. That's all your filling. Completely done. Okay? Okay. So, when this is done rising, I will bring you back and show you how to roll her out for making the stromboli. And I'll get my baking pan ready if I can remember. I keep sitting down having little breaks. Okay, let's fix you a little better. That's better. Floured my surface. Dough is proofed. Taking it out of my oven. You see? It's doubled. So we're going to do the favorite part. Punch it. Grab it. Plop it on floured surface. Start with that bowl. It's in the sink for the dishwasher, aka me, to wash. Alright. So, kind of press it into kind of a rectangular shape. Gonna need more flour. There we go. Now I got my big old marble heavy rolling pin out. It's going to do a lot of the work for me. I just move it. We want a rectangle 10 by 15-ish. Okay. And it doesn't have to be a perfect rectangle because we're going to put the filling right along the center. We're going to leave 2 inches around the edges. We don't want the filling touching the edges, or the edges won't close very well. Now, I have already beaten 1 egg with a tablespoon of water for an egg wash. This thing's heavy. Some days I swear it's almost, is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. Alright. Let's grab our filling. Give it another toss. I know you just see the butt of the bowl, the bottom of the bowl. I just want to get all this goodness out of here. I don't think I can do it with the bowl facing you. I don't know why I'm talking so quiet. Okay. And the sink for the dishwasher, aka me. Okay. Just kind of get this leveled out pretty good. Okay. Now, your egg wash, you're going to use this twice. So the first time is to help you pinch all your edges together, and then the second time will be on the top to bake it with an egg wash on top. You know, to make it pretty. But that's not the only thing that's going on the top. On top, when we bake it, we are going to, after we put on the egg wash, we're going to sprinkle it with Italian seasoning and Parmesan cheese. All right. Okay. You know what? I was putting away the carton of eggs after getting out what I needed. I found the darn green bell peppers. That's my favorite, and here's the green, but it's okay. Save them for something else. I thought I had green peppers, and then I couldn't find them. Okay, you just kind of squish it together here. Bring up your end, squish it together, bring up your other end, and it's starting to tear. I got that side a little too thin. All right, finish squishing, pinching, squishing, whatever you want to call it, your seams. All right. I'm happy with that. That looks good enough. Good enough. I'm in that kind of a mood. Tired. Okay. Baking sheets lined with parchment paper, or grease it very, very well. I skipped a step. After you roll it out into your triangle, you're supposed to move that to the baking sheet, then do the filling and pinch it up. So we're going to try and shimmy this. Okay. Okay. It's not perfect, but edible, and it'll taste yummy. And isn't that what matters? It would have to be absolutely perfect. Who am I trying to impress? Nobody. All right. So, we're going to let this sit and rise. We want seam side down. Okay, seam side down. We're going to let this sit and rise. There's the towel I used on the bowl. We're going to use the same towel. I'm going to put it back in my oven for proofing for 30 minutes. And then we'll pull it out, and I'll show you the next steps. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. Nice big old honkin' stromboli. What we're going to do is we're going to make some slits with a very sharp knife. About 2 inches apart. We need it to, you know, vent. Alright, that's good.
I'm not playing for very long. I'm only playing for like 10 minutes.
Okay, so now we're going to do the egg wash. This is what's left over from when we pinched it together. We're going to do top, sides, and then I went ahead in another bowl, mixed up Parmesan cheese and Italian seasoning. Now, it's supposed to be measured. I'm tired and feeling lazy, so I did not measure. I dumped in the bowl. It's way too much. It's supposed to be 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese. You know, the stuff in the green bottle, Kraft stuff. With 1 teaspoon or half a teaspoon? 1 teaspoon dried Italian seasoning blend. Yeah, I just dumped both, and they're equal amounts, so that's going to be good, but it's still too much. got plenty of egg wash here, so I'm just gonna go over it really good. And turn it a beautiful golden brown color. I've served it this way to company, and it's always really impressive. See, Parmesan cheese, Italian seasoning. After egg wash, it's too much, but we're going to use it. Doesn't matter. We're going to use it. We're not wasting it. Now, we'll do the sides. There. Way too much. But right now I'm just waiting for my oven to preheat to 375. I have it on my convection setting. You can do it on a conventional setting. And we're going to bake this for about 25 to 35 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. So it's gonna be gorgeous. Now I still have a ways to go. We're at 280 degrees, 85, whatever. We're close. And then I'll pop it in, and I'll bring you back when it's out of the oven and I start slicing it. Because when we pull it out of the oven, we're gonna let it rest for 10 minutes, kind of like you would a lasagna. You gotta let it set. You gotta let it set a minute and just kind of recongeal itself, or you're just gonna have a really weird mess. You don't want that. So I'll bring you back. Okay, out of the oven, I've slid it onto a cutting board. See? Little stromboli sliding around. All right. Isn't it beautiful? Still hot. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? See all the cheesy goodness? Yum, yum. It did ooze some cheese onto the baking sheet, but the parchment paper is going to make that, you know, super easy cleanup. And you can just eat this as is. Some people dip stromboli in pizza sauce or spaghetti sauce. We don't. We just eat it as is. All right, get you a middle piece here. Isn't that beautiful? All right, we're hungry. We're gonna eat. So see you next time.